Okay, so this one is from Jonathan in America. He was asking about the connection between Tenjin Shinyo and the original Judo, as in the old Judo of martial arts. So that's Atemi, Randori, and the early katas of Judo.
Okay, hi Jonathan. Yes. Firstly, I'd like to say that I respect all Judo players, both modern and old. In Japan I met several judoka who were extremely tough people, and very good at what they do on the mat. But there is a big difference between the old Judo and the new Judo, as you say. I say new Judo. New Judo now has been around for some time, competition Judo. And that's basically, that's what it is. They're following rules to win a competition. And as we know, Keino Jigoro, founder of Kodokan Judo, was a student of Tenjin Shinyo. And he learnt Tenjin Shinyo and took over some of the documents from a Tenjin Shinyo master, Fukuda Hachinosuke. And Fukuda was, in our Rugi, was known to be a very tough fighter and person. He didn't mess around. He didn't do a lot of talking when he taught. He would rather demonstrate the technique in a real fashion. And this Keino found out for himself when asking Fukuda some questions on a particular throw in Tenjin Shinyo. But certainly it's true that Judo over time has changed. And now, of course, in Judo competition there is no Atemi. The rules have become more and more limited, and even in some of the contests I see, even the groundwork now is being shortened. And I think that, in a sense, I think that's a great pity. But I don't practice Judo, so maybe competitors in Judo like the way things are going. I think that Judo has become has a massive following, and probably because a lot of the dangerous techniques were taken out by Keino himself, and have made it more, how can we say, more of a sport to follow, and not to get too badly injured. But Judo, as I say, is a tough competition and a tough sport. Could you just remind me of part of that question, please, Lee?
One of the things I was going to just say to you, Shike, is recently there was a child that was injured due to repetitive throws.
Yeah.
Ended up in a coma. Don't know whether he's come out yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously Judo is still dangerous. So what do you think where do you think the danger lies? In the technique or the practitioner?
That's a difficult one to say. There is a technique that came from Tenjin Shinyo that was once allowed in competition, which is the
Kazami?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
the double leg take.
The double leg take.
Yep.
And I believe that this was banned from Judo when, in a certain competition, when a judoka broke his competitor's tibia or legs, and since that time that's been banned. So there are certain techniques, of course, that can be dangerous, but also sometimes the throws now are done in such a manner that both actually land on the floor, and maybe there's not so much control in that way. So
for speed
and for leverage and for timing sometimes. And this is because a lot of the time now there is no atemi. You see, when you strike someone, it gives you more. If you hit someone very hard first off, it gives you more of a chance then to grab and throw with a clean throw.
Yep.
If the strike is effective, and this is what we call rimi, atemi, kazushi, entering strike off balance, and then throw or joint lock or strangulation. But it was a atemi first, and then throwing or joint locking, kansetsu waza or shimi waza.
Okay, so Jonathan, sorry, he's from America, by the way. Jonathan, his question was the connection between Tenjin Shinyo and the old judo, so the atemi, the randori, and early cut.
Yeah. Well, there was randori at one time that had atemi, but and even some of the Tenjin Shinyo books, the old books that were put out, the Gokui book, you didn't see in randori, they didn't describe any atemi waza. This was because the Kodokan was becoming a very influential establishment, and therefore Tenjin Shinyo was in a sense being suffocated by the Kodokan and by Kano's influence on governmental boards and so forth. So again, the atemi was taken out of these books, but I can assure you that true Tenjin Shinyo randori was using atemi waza. Now judo, we have the kimi no kata, which many of the techniques there seem to resemble some of the Tenjin Shinyo kata techniques, and of course there's also the Itsusu no kata, the kata of 5 forms, which many authorities say Kano actually originated, but that is incorrect. These forms came from Tenjin Shinyo and are known in Tenjin Shinyo as the Gohon Kuden no kata. They are, that means that there are 5 methods taught by Kuden, that is oral tradition, and these forms were only taught normally to a person who was going to take over or lead the rugi. So they were one-to-one, heart-to-heart, and passed on in that way. Of course, I was taught the Gohon Kuden no kata by Kubota Toshihiro Shihanki, taught one-to-one. And when first off I thought, well, this is no different to the Itsusu no kata of judo, but in actual fact, when I watch now Itsusu no kata by judo people and the Gohon Kuden no kata as I know it and as taught to me by Kubota Shihanki, there are vast differences, and much of the esoteric teachings and principles have been lost when I read the literature of judo literature today as opposed to what I was taught. So there is a difference there, but there is also this connection, and I would say the Kimi no Kata and the Itsusu no Kata are probably the two kata forms that connect Judo with Tenjin Shinyo the most.